Welcome into Coffee and Conversation with Coach Tony. And Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Brian. How you doing?
I'm great, thank you. So Coach, last home game of the regular season is this Thursday against Samford, 7 o'clock. First 100 fans get this scarf right here. Make sure I don't hold it upside down.
That's nice, Brian. I'd say you might need about 400 of those. I'm hoping to get a big crowd on Thursday, so tell marketing, get us 300 more scarves, please.
So just want to get into Samford here. Just thoughts on playing a great opponent here on Thursday and it being the last home game of the season.
Yeah, I mean, Samford, Tall's done a phenomenal job there. They're numerous years reigning champions, has a tremendous team year in, year out, and everyone's trying to chase them. And they always find themselves in a mix. So for us to have them at home, we're both battling right now in a similar situation. We both have a loss or two. We have two, they have one. Trying to jockey for pole positioning in the standings. It's a huge game for us as far as keeping our goals intact of chasing hopefully a SoCon championship, but also seeding purposes. And them being our rivals since we entered the league 10 years ago. We battled first and second until the last weekend of the season, played in a championship game. We're fortunate to come on the winning end. But ever since that year, it's been back and forth as far as the competition, the battles. Some very good games, a couple of lopsided games in their favor. But, Samford, it's our rival, along with numerous other schools. But there's history there amongst the two staffs, the two programs. So it should be a very fun and spirited game. And we're working really hard. We had a good session today, a light session. Tomorrow we'll go a little bit harder to prepare for the match with Samford. And we expect our team to come out for 90 minutes on Thursday night and showcase their abilities to knock off the defending champion who went to the NCAA tournament last year. And we feel confident in our abilities to do that.
And then following Samford, you guys have closed out the regular season with 2 games on the road. So I just want to know if every hotel in the world had one thing, what would you want that one thing to be? Where no matter what, you knew it was going to be there. You could expect it when you get to the hotel.
Oh wow, Brian, that's a good question. One thing, huh?
Yeah.
Let me think for a second here.
Just like a nice, comfortable bed, maybe. Maybe something fun, arcade room or something.
I'm not a big video guy.
Okay.
To me, a bed's a bed. I can sleep anywhere. I can sleep on a plane. I can sleep on a bus. I can sleep on a couch. I'd say, being Greek, being European, I'd say maybe a bidet. That'd be a nice surprise. Have a bidet in my bathroom. Be a nice, oh my gosh, this is a great place. And if I couldn't have that, I'd say give me a Greek chef in there.
Okay.
Make me some paella, some moussaka, some pasticcio. Treat me to a home-cooked meal there. But I would say bidet if I could.
Okay.
Now, hold on, Brian. Have you ever used a bidet?
I have not, no.
Okay. It's an experience.
It's an experience that you'll leave at that.
And I'll tell you this. You can't buy the one that attaches to the toilet seat. It's not the same thing. You got to get an actual full-fledged bidet and have a good experience.
Okay. So, Coach, have you ever been to a soccer game outside of the U.S.? And then if so, what would you say makes the atmospheres at a soccer game unique, just with all, like, the chants I know and the flags? Just you want to, like, talk about that?
Yes, I've been a couple games. I've been to some games in England. I've been to games in Wales and in Greece. And if you've never been to a game overseas, I mean, I would say follow Wrexham FC, the show, Ryan Reynolds' team. Those clubs over in Europe, it's a community. It's an investment for the whole community. They follow it from generations and generations, from grandparents to great-grandparents who followed these teams. And when the team loses, the whole kind of community feels the pain of the loss. Even though they're not investors or shareholders, that town bleeds that team's colors. And when they win, they're all elated. And the passion that you have, I can't replicate it here. College athletics is similar to that, you'd say, the passionate student fan base. But we're talking about generations of just fans who live and breathe it every single day, whether it's a cup game, whether it's a league game, whether it's a European game. The atmosphere just makes it electric. Like you said, the chanting, the passion, I can't mimic it. Like I said, I mean, I've been to NHL Stanley Cup games. I've been to NFL playoff games. I've been to NBA Finals games. Those don't replicate the true passion And it would be something like if you're from a small town and like Hoosiers basketball, the movie, that team makes it to there and the whole community goes and supports them. That's what it's like. It's like small town USA. The whole town gets behind it, and they follow them the entire season, win or lose.
Yeah.
And that's how the passion is there. And it all started because your youth level, your homegrown talent would play the local club and work their way up, and they get sold to a different club, and then you follow them as well. But it's something everybody should experience. My hope is to take my kids at some point before they go to college to Europe to experience the passion and to see why these players play how they play over there. Like I said, there's nothing that compares to it, unfortunately. But it's a memorable experience if you can ever do it.
A lot of these teams I know are deep with history and traditions, and it's not just like how some hockey teams like the Vegas Golden Knights, like teams that are popping up here in the U.S. and certain sports like overseas. These teams are like have been there for like centuries really, and have a lot of passion and just tradition and history behind it. I think that also kind of makes it unique when you would go and visit these stadiums. I'm sure
it is. I mean, like I said, not to keep plugging Wrexham, but it's free. It's on TV. But if you watch it and you see that small town in Wales and how they've embraced that club and the ownership was pumping money into it, and you see the back camera stuff, behind the scenes stuff, and it's amazing to see. And the history you mentioned, you have 200-300 years of the same team playing at certain levels, certain leagues. This year, for instance, Luton Town got promoted to the Premiership. Their stadium seats 11,000 people. You have to go through like almost a residential kind of entrance foyer to get to the stands. Just unique atmospheres and situations and that's the promotion relegation model they have there. That's why I think the passion is there, because if this town gets behind the team and supports it and they get promoted, now you're playing bigger teams and more notoriety. So that also instills that fire for fans to get promoted or not get relegated. I mean, and that's awesome. You can't tank a season, because you tank it, you're going down a level. When you go down a level, you lose your stars, you lose your star players, your salaries go down. It can affect the whole community. Not as many people come into town to see things. So the economic impact is huge. But again, it's the history is rich. The traditions are deep. And again, if you can ever make it to match it, if not, go to watch Hulu or watch Netflix and watch one of those specials on any of those teams overseas. Okay.
So Coach, I don't know if you heard, but recently Olympic organizers for the LA Olympics in 2028 have proposed adding flag football as one of the sports to the Olympics. I just want to get your thoughts on flag football possibly being a game of the Olympics, and do you think like players in the NFL would even like consider playing flag football, and like would you watch flag football? Just your thoughts on that.
I think my Greek ancestors who started the ancient Olympics would be rolling over right now with this sport of flag football. I think it's a great phenomenon in the U.S., especially on the women's side. They're playing a lot of it. It's a fast-growing sport. Mm-hmm. As far as making an Olympic sport, I think that's a stretch. I think we've added some sports in the last couple Olympics, whether it's street boarding or whatever it might be, different things that aren't worldwide phenomenons. Remember, we had baseball and softball, and they canceled after the 2004 Olympics in Greece. I think flag football is the same kind of thing. I think it's a way we can get more medals if we can get it on the docket. U.S. Now, if they allowed NFL players, I think it's a complete disadvantage. I hope it would be either by age requirement, or if you play professional football of any kind, whether it's European or Canadian or NFL, you can't play in it. But I wouldn't watch it per se. I like the track and field events. I enjoy the swimming, soccer, obviously. Those are things I like to watch. I wouldn't watch it. I haven't watched a game yet in the States, so I doubt I'd tune into it in LA.
Are you more of a Summer Olympics or a Winter Olympics kind of guy?
I like more events in the summertime. I'll tune in the winter, watching the alpine skiing. I'll watch some of the speed skating, the hockey. Even if my wife watches figure skating, I'll tune into that and watch a little bit of it. They're all elite athletes. I mean, I can't take away from what their trade is. Like even figure skating, how the smallest fraction of how you land could impact you not winning a gold from a silver. But not growing up in cold weather, I didn't do many of those sports. Watching people broom on curling is cool, but I have no idea what the heck they're doing, So I would say I tend to watch more of the summertime, but I do respect and watch a sport also in the wintertime.
Okay. Going off those unique sports, I think a lot of us have played kind of these like ultimate frisbee or flag football in like high school gym class. So I'm just wondering, like, what was your favorite sport that you played or game that you played like in high school gym class?
Listen, dodgeball all the way. 100 out of 100 days, I picked dodgeball with the old rubber red ball. You could pelt people in the head. They go down.
That wasn't a role for
No,
you? Like
listen,
you can't hit people in the head?
I'm older. It was fair game, and it was intense. And we made a mess of it. We loved it, and it was guys and girls playing.
Okay.
You start with multiple balls and go down to 3 balls and 2 balls and 1 ball, but it wasn't like you had teams. It was just a free for all, and it got intense. And dodgeball, I think they should bring it back almost for like a punishment class instead of going to detention now or parent meeting. Get the kids who are in trouble into a gym class, give them a couple of red rubber balls, and have at it. And less was standing gets out of the consequence.
Coach, we appreciate the time and good luck this week.
I appreciate it. Hope to see you guys Thursday at Bet Stadium. Go Bears.